So I just got done making this video yesterday about the Betaflight 4.0 tuning guide, which we're going to take a look at quickly here. So I'm going to make this like the short version. I will post the full video right after this video, so if you want to check that out. And the whole thing is going through the tuning guide to the best of my ability and flashing their default settings that they always come with that says, hey, if you fly freestyle, try this out. You still might have to adjust your PIDs, so on and so forth, just to kind of see where their defaults kind of fall in line with, you know, what I'm flying. And it's a long video. It's like 20 minutes. There's flight footage. I show you the behaviors and stuff like that I was experiencing and stuff. So there's might be some useful information in there for some people, maybe not. But as I made that video and I watched it back a couple times before I hit publish, I wanted to make sure that I put out some stuff, some disclaimers, and just some final thoughts before you watch the video. So the first thought is that all the work I commend that all these people in Betaflight put out, that is for sure. They work hard. It's all pretty much all for free, I guess. It's all open source. They do it as a hobby and as their spare time. The thing is like the experience of Betaflight has not really gotten any easier. Like, yes, they've automated a lot of things, but in order to get the performance that you might want or expect, somebody like myself who has been doing this for, you know, 4, 5, 6 years now, like, I would expect that it would have come a long way. And I'm not saying that 4.0 hasn't came a long way, but when you compare it to Flight 1, which I've been flying for the past couple weeks, and something like KISS, so on and so forth, you know, Flight 1 has all of these default presets for Schizo's tune and Vanover's tune, Blackbird's tune, and it not only tunes your PIDs, but it also tunes the TPA levels. It also tunes and puts in some filters, which, you know, may or may not work on your setups. You might still have to play around with them. And since their logging doesn't work, it is kind of hit or miss. So are you going to get lucky on defaults? Maybe not. But there are just a couple things that you can change, like either raising or lowering the filters that are in there, and there's not that many of them, and your stuff is going to fly great. Like, it flies, all of them are completely flyable right out of the box. You might get some oscillations here or some vibrations there, whatever, but, you know, it's just easy. It's click, click, put in your rates, and it's done. I know there's plenty of big name people that fly Betaflight, like where's the Jet tune, where's the Gab 707 tune, where's the NERC tune. Get these guys on board. And when I look through, you know, the Betaflight tuning notes here, you know, I mean, they have made so many great things and have automated so many processes, like the dynamic filters and this and that. But, you know, the people at Betaflight, you know, Betaflight is on everything from tiny whoops to 10-inch X-class quads. And I don't expect them to put out like default tunes for everything and some ideas of what you might want to try. You know, there's YouTubers out there, like, I mean, really the only one I know is Mark Spatz, that's really trying to kind of open it up to everybody to say, hey, if you have a 3-inch quad, you might want to move your dynamic notch to high settings instead of auto. And then he explains it. Some of it people might not understand, and they might just turn it off because they think it's techno babble. But, you know, when people start complaining about, oh, my motors are hot, or I'm getting this or getting that, that's where, like, you got to really dive into this stuff. And when you look at just like all of these settings here to paste into the goal is smoothness, I'm a freestyle pilot, what should I paste? Of course, they do say try the defaults first. Just like all of these settings here to paste into the goal is smoothness, I'm a freestyle pilot, what should I paste? Of course, they do say try the defaults first. But, like, it's hard to explain what like all of these do, and you have to go back through these tuning guides and kind of read this stuff. There's just so much to learn and so much to do. And man, you know, I feel bad for them because, you know, if they had, like, let's say Betaflight was like closed source, or let's say it's open source, and they had one board that they truly developed for with their own hand-picked gyro and hardware and everything like that, then maybe some of this would be a little bit easier, so they didn't have to implement it for 50 different targets or however many there are. Who knows how much. But then there's, like, you know, racing defaults, which I haven't tried those yet. But then there's just so much more. And the key takeaway that I get from this tuning guide is don't fly like an idiot. Like, basically, if you read through these paragraphs here, it's going to tell you that, look, we have put in as much work as we can to make this fly as good as we can for you guys. But if you fly like an idiot, like doing crazy turns, not flying smoothly, cutting and dipping throttle and stuff when you shouldn't, then your quad is still going to fly bad. You're still going to have prop wash. You're still going to have this. You know, they go into mechanical type of things, like batteries on top, heavier quads being more stable, 6S is better than 4S, that type of stuff. You know, they're really, it almost seems like they're kind of trying to like push back on the community a little bit by saying like, look, we can only do so much for you, but you still need to put in the work, which is fine. That's what this is. This is a hobby. People should be able to tinker and play and everything else. But as you look down through here again, it just gets pretty crazy. There's so much stuff to do. And like I said, just go ahead and selecting the presets on Flight 1 and going out and getting something that's definitely flyable and closer to the experience that I had with this. Definitely just kind of made me think that, man, I need to kind of, you know, put something out there that, you know, the Betaflight team, we need a better experience. Like, you guys have nailed it with 4.0. I think you're in a really great place to like put all of this stuff and all of these creative ideas on hold. I mean, for goodness sakes, Mark showed that with the new RPM sensing bidirectional filters that it was picking up like ambient noise. It wasn't even picking up gyro noise anymore. That's how good that works. So I think I made my point and have rambled on quite a bit. I think Betaflight team has done a great job with 4.0. I think for 5.0, they definitely need to scale it down. They need to focus more on what's important, which I think is the configurator experience, the defaults. Make something that's available so a 3-inch flyer can click a button, a 5-inch flyer can click a button, 6-inch, so on, and just kind of get rid of this stuff that what we're for. Like, we're not using Betaflight for line of sight. That's like this many people, not this many. So let's narrow the focus, dedicate your awesome resources to really making the product shine and more polished and just kind of fresh and updated, something like that. I don't know. But anyway, good job. I'm going to keep on flying it, of course. Everybody else is going to, but I think we really need to step up the game a little bit. And I wish there was some way I could help and contribute. All I am is just this guy right here behind the microphone with an opinion. But anyway, thanks everybody. We'll talk to you later.